Guys, there's a lot of arguing going on across the internet as to what version of World of Warcraft is better, the modern game, Battle for Azeroth, or the original game, Classic WoW, which is due to come out this August. So, was Classic WoW really that good, and was it really that fun, or is this all just nostalgia and rose-tinted goggles? Well, what I decided to do is I wanted to try both versions of the game back to back. I made an undead priest in both Battle for Azeroth and in Classic, and I gave myself a roughly 1 hour time limit. See how far I could get, experience whatever I can, and then make some conclusions. This video details both of my adventures, the conclusions that I made, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. Guys, after making my Forsaken priest within the first minute, I was immediately struck by just how different the two starting experiences were. It's not something that I had ever really thought about fully before, but in Classic World of Warcraft, if you're a Forsaken at least, you quite literally emerge from a crypt into a giant unknown world. There is no direction, nobody is telling you where to go, there's no real tutorial, and well, you're just one person in a massive expanse. Now in Battle for Azeroth, this feeling does exist, but Blizzard is very quick to throw Darnell, this undead warrior guy, at you, who's a friendly Forsaken NPC who guides you on your first quest. He shows you where to go, he tells you what to get, and so on. And this is the first key difference between the two games. Within seconds of starting each respective version, one was holding my hand and the other was telling me to go off and find my own way. One was showing me where I needed to go using NPCs and in-game map markers, and the other was telling me to just go off and explore, figure it out for yourself. Alright, so I continued on with my adventure, and once again the differences between the two games became even more immense. Now, I played Classic WoW first when doing this experiment, so you can imagine, I mean, come on, how much of a relief it was to kill mobs in Battle for Azeroth's version of WoW compared to the Classic version. Because, guys, in the Classic version of the game, mobs take quite some time to kill. They got a lot of health, and you're quick to run out of mana, and you're forced to beat these fools down with your mace, drink water, you know what I'm talking about. It's a bloody job, but someone's gotta do it. Now in modern WoW, the idea of running out of mana in these early stages, it's as impossible as a creative metaphor. Now, something that stood out to me in all of this is because of how Classic WoW works in terms of its mob difficulty, lack of mana, and so on. Even though I was a priest, my weapon became a good friend of mine. Whenever I got a weapon upgrade in Classic WoW, I felt good because I actually used my weapon whenever I ran out of mana. In modern WoW, however, not so much. My weapon was about as useless as the gear I was wearing. And that leads me to my next bit to talk about, and that's armor between these two games. In Classic WoW, armor actually feels like it has an impact on you, the character, and how much damage you're taking and doing and so on. 1 second you're dressed in your starting gear, and the next you're wearing this crappy looking foraged gear set off a bunch of rotting corpses. Now it ain't much, but getting a new pair of gloves, shoes, or a cape really feels like an upgrade, and seeing that armor count going up is oh so satisfying. Now Battle for Azeroth would have the exact same feeling, it would. But there's a problem. Many of the quest rewards in BFA offer the same armor amount as previous quest rewards. Seriously, you do a quest to kill X amount of whatever, and you are given a pair of bracers as a reward that has 1 armor. And then you do another quest later on down the road, and guess what? You are given another pair of bracers as a reward with 1 armor. There is no feeling of progression here, I feel, because the armor that you're getting from early quests isn't any better than the armor that you're receiving from later quests. And even when you do get armor, it just doesn't feel like it's making that much of a difference. And that leads me to talking about money in this game. In Classic WoW, obviously money is very important. As you travel around, you are picking up everything you can grab, from grays to white gear, whatever, in order to sell it to afford your spells. Money has weight. It has real value in Classic WoW, yet in the modern game, that was not the case. What do you need money for when all your spells are free of charge to learn, as it's all automatic? The only place where I needed money in BFA is when I started doing professions later on, and even then I never struggled to afford the skills as I leveled them up. But we'll talk more about professions later. So here is my first big criticism of Battle for Azeroth versus Classic WoW. In Classic World of Warcraft, everything seems to have a purpose and a reason for being there. Quests encourage you to go out and to explore the world. While adventuring, you'll find weapons and armor that are useful to you, the player. You will earn relevant and awesome rewards from doing these quests once you return to town. You level up and you're given access to new spells from your trainer. You collect gray items, whatever, to sell so you can afford these spells, and so on and so forth. Nothing seems pointlessly placed in the game. Everything has a reason for being there, and this is good game design, at least in my opinion. To illustrate this example further, for those of you that don't understand, why do I need better gear in BFA to kill these mobs when I quickly discovered that I can pull up to 4 of them at a time and still not die? And speaking of fighting mobs and dying, let's talk about this damned spider cave. You see this place? Now on Battle for Azeroth's version of the game, this cave isn't any threat at all. But let me tell you what, I have known many an adventurer, myself included, who has died at the hands of these red spiders. Because you see in BFA, all of these mobs are passive. You can walk past them, no problem. But in Classic, they're all hostile NPCs, they are packed close together, and they're ready to kill anybody who dares to step into the mine. And you know what happened? This is what happened when I was on that quest. I got into a group with somebody. In all my time playing BFA's version of WoW, there was never a need to group up with anybody, nor a reason to talk with anyone. Now sure, I could have just competed with this mage for these spider mobs, but why would I do that? Why not get into a group which makes the quest so much safer? You get the kill credit, and would you look at that? She's even making me water just to be cool because she knows, just like me, that managing mana in this game, even at these low levels, is a pain in the ass. A whole stack of water later, we're starting to clear the cave, we're even making our way to the back just to see if we can kill the matriarch, and lo and behold, right there, look at that, that's a treasure chest, man. And you know what? We rolled for it, boom. Got a 99. Hell yeah. I looted that treasure chest, excited as could be, and you know what? I didn't get a single thing. But damn it, it was still cool to have that chance at some awesome gear in that chest. We killed the big spider matriarch right after, we made our way out of the cave, she helped me finish my quest by killing the small spiders, and we said goodbye. That right there is one of the primary reasons why people love Classic WoW, and why they got hooked on Classic WoW all the way back in 2004. Because not only is it a well put together game, but because it encourages people to interact with each other, group up, trade, exchange buffs, and help each other conquer this bitch of a world. Battle for Azeroth, in comparison, despite all its cross-server technology, new zones, updated graphics, and so on, it just feels like a giant empty world. And that's what made playing the BFA version of the game so boring for the majority of the hour I played it. However, there was one thing that happened that I was not expecting. I got this staff. Now look at this frickin' staff, man. These stats on such a low-level staff are insane. Is this a fluke? Like seriously, is this a fluke or something? Because I got a green pair of gloves later on, and it only had a little bit of stamina on it. Like, hot damn, this is a good staff. And you know what else? Professions. Honestly, when it came to BFA, I had the most fun playing it once I got into the professions. I was doing tailoring and enchanting, as I quickly discovered just how powerful the profession gear could be compared to the quest reward gear that I was receiving. And that was a nice surprise. However, I do have to admit that although it was cool to be able to craft for myself a robe that gave me +5 intellect, it didn't really matter all that much because, as I mentioned earlier, with or without this robe, I can still pull 4 or 5 mobs at a time, as you can see, and they're of no threat to me. I did have fun doing the professions on the Battle for Azeroth client. Yeah, I did. I truly did. but you gotta admit that it's kind of a waste of time. I mean, there's really no need for it, so why even do it? After an hour on the Classic WoW beta, I had gotten new gear, farmed money, I had learned new spells from my class trainer, gotten into a group with someone to do a mutual quest, I traded with people, I was having fun. I was immersed in the world. After an hour on the BFA client, I had gotten new gear that didn't feel like it made any difference. I had farmed money that I used to learn profession recipes to make gear that didn't really feel like it made any difference. I never felt like I was in danger of dying at any point. I learned all my spells automatically. I hadn't spoken to a single person because there was no need to. And I was, well, bored. I know the video is going to get a lot of hate, but I was just bored playing BFA. And not because, guys, not because I went in trying to hate the game. Like, I promise, I was not doing that. I was bored simply because after playing Classic WoW for an hour, it just showed me how poorly designed Battle for Azeroth is as an MMO when you start comparing it to how the game used to be in the past. I know that Classic WoW is a slower paced game. I know it's not for everyone, and I know that for some of you, you're gonna dislike this video. But after sitting down for 2 hours and playing both versions of the game, there really is no comparison when I think about which one I want to play more and which one felt more like a well-polished MMORPG. Battle for Azeroth, yeah, it had the fancy graphics, the cool new spell effects, the cutscene quests like the Lillian Voss things, the neat rare spawns, and all the quality of life features, but it just lacked that MMORPG soul that captivates people who enjoy playing these types of games. And those are my thoughts after an hour of playing both versions of the game. I wish I could say more good things about BFA, but I can't because there's just nothing to say. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a like. If you didn't, feel free to dislike it, that's okay. But most importantly, for those of you who have played Classic, maybe you're in the beta like me, maybe you're playing on a Blizz-like private server, whatever. What do you think of Classic WoW's leveling experience when you compare it to Battle for Azeroth? Maybe do the exact same experiment that I just did and post your own video, or leave a comment down below and share your thoughts after you do it. Seriously, see what you guys think. So, you know, generate your own opinions and let's hear it. Engage with the community. But as always, guys, thank you for listening to my rambling. A big shout out to all my supporters. I will see you all live over on Twitch, and enjoy your adventures in Azeroth.